the first and foremost one of the hard truths is this is commission only. And there's no salary, which means, again, the first side of it, the truths, there's no ceiling. We can make unlimited amount of money, but we also have zero floor, which means the agents that are brand new and have the most flexible schedule have no income, right? You don't make any money. You don't have anything guaranteed. I always say that you are 100% unemployed until your next application. And that is the truth. Welcome back to another special episode of the Life Insurance Academy podcast. Today, I'm your host, the man driving the bus today, Zach, and I'm sitting here with my buddy Chris. He's coming in hot to the studio today.
Yes, I am.
Today is going to be fun.
Yeah, we're going to have a good one, man. When you say special episode, it reminds me of those after school specials. Did you ever see that? Like Tammy has an eating disorder.
No, I don't think I've seen that one, Chris.
I'm just saying, that's what it reminded me of. Like very special conversation.
Man, whatever floats your boat, it's cool, man.
It's teaching you something, Zach. It's teaching you a life lesson wrapped in entertainment. That's what it is.
Yeah, and I think this podcast topic is going to be an instant classic. This podcast topic is what everybody is searching for drastically through the YouTube, looking for this answer.
The truth.
But it is the truth. It's the truth about...
It's TRUFF, Zach.
Oh, is it?
Because it's not just the truth. It's the stuff that everybody else isn't telling you.
Got it.
It's the truth.
That's the Battle Creek in you, isn't it?
That's right. The streets of Battle Creek, bro.
Yeah,
I know some things.
It's the truth about life insurance sales, but it's not just the half truth. It's not just the truth that is told to you to get you to join. It's not just the truth that gets you excited in the income, in the life-changing opportunity that life insurance provides, because it does provide. But Chris, it's the whole truth.
Yeah.
And nothing but the truth.
That's right. You can't handle the truth.
It's the truth that nobody tells you.
Right.
It's the truth of what it's going to take in order to have that first half of that truth become reality, that first half of that income opportunity, the first half of that exciting thing that pulls you in and says, I'm built for something different. I'm built better. I want to do this. I can do this. It's the truth of what it's going to take. It's the other half of the muffin. Right?
Yes. That's the top part's the best part.
Well, let's start with the top then.
Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
That would be more of a cupcake.
Yeah, I think so. And I think what is it? I think what is it that's drawing people into this business? It's the stuff they're seeing on social media.
Yeah.
And the thing that is getting the most attraction is the money.
Absolutely.
It's the money, high income potential.
What's the saying you used to always say? It's you're stuck into a job or an opportunity that you're in now. You feel that you're built for something more, something to that nature. But it's all the reasons of why you feel the way you do right now. The limited opportunity that you have on income, the limited opportunity you have on growth, the satisfaction of doing something meaningful, the limited and time frame of any sort of promotion or advancement in your current work situation. Yeah. And I think, Chris, one of the biggest attractive pieces to the life insurance industry has everything to do with the industry you're in or the opportunity they're in and the limitations attached to that.
Yeah, many people are stuck in a job or career they don't love. And I think there are a lot of people out there who are staring out the window looking for freedom, but they haven't had a real opportunity. They've tried some things. Boy, have they tried some stuff. They've gone to meetings on weekends. They've done the MLM thing, and they're wanting more. And there's a word. We're going to get to some of these other pieces. Or things
how many people are on our coaching calls that are unable to turn their cameras on because they're listening through their AirPods at another career?
Yeah.
That's astonishing. This is exactly the people that we're talking about.
Yeah. And they want one word, and they want freedom or an idea of freedom.
Yeah.
And that's what's keeping them up at night. And that's what appeals to them when they see they're scrolling through, the doom scrolling, and then their algorithm is showing them all the get rich quick because it knows what you're looking for.
Yeah.
And it's showing the people on the boats and the yachts and talking about how much money you can make on life insurance, which is undeniable. It's undeniable. It is available.
Let's dive into some of these truths, Chris, and talk about the truth about selling life insurance, the exciting things, the attractive pieces, what is actually really possible and realistic. Number one is the high earning potential. The high earning potential is literally limitless because of a commission-based opportunity. This was the most attractive thing to me. I've always had a work ethic. I've always had a mindset. And being in a previous position where I was hourly paid and my pay was based upon the length of time I was there, not necessarily the work or the effort I put in or even the results that are generated from my work. It was all based upon, we had old John, who was 58 years old. He's on cruise control, just pounding cigarettes left and right until he gets out of there, and he's making a good chunk more than me. and it's somehow, the longer you're there, the less they do, the less they work, the more shortcuts they make, but somehow they get paid more, which was so confusing to me.
Frustrating.
It was so frustrating. And I'm doing circles around a lot of these people. I had another guy that I worked with when I worked in Kroger in college. My freshman year of college, I was in the deli slicing meat.
Yes.
And
making the sausage.
I didn't make the sausage. I sliced the sausage. It's a big difference. And slicing the meat, serving the clients, and man, I'm telling you, you're on your feet all day. I was at a busy Kroger, man. We didn't stop, right?
Yeah.
And there was a couple guys that were there, and it was, believe it or not, it was
the same guys you worked with at the other place.
But they had like a little union thing, right? And you had to pay like dues, and they barely did anything.
Yeah.
Anything. And it drove me insane. And through those 2 job periods as a young man in college and also doing my own lawn care, which I got paid for every yard that I did and managed my own thing, didn't work for anybody, right? I got to see both sides of that coin.
Yeah.
And it was crazy to me why anybody would ever want to limit themselves if they have the work ethic, the drive, and the mindset to get paid for the value they're bringing.
Yeah.
And so when you talk about the high earning potential, it is commission based, which can be really good and really bad.
Yeah. And this opportunity, I like what you said, Zach, if you had the work ethic, because that commission based, it's only going to happen if you produce commissions, if you're producing sales.
Right.
So you have to have the work ethic and you have to have the willingness to go through what could be a pretty steep learning curve for people. It is completely different. Most people who are coming into this have to learn what it is to sell something, what it is to influence somebody, what it is to help somebody make a change.
That's not any different than you or I.
Oh yeah,
right.
Absolutely.
Like, it's not that just some select people have to learn it. Heck, I didn't. I never sold anything.
Everybody has to learn it.
Yes.
Everybody who's coming into this has to learn that language. It's like learning a new language in some ways. And then learning what these commissions are, how they come in, what it is to get a charge back, all of those pieces, what it is to keep business on the books, and then learning what really pays. Maybe like how does whole life pay, universal life versus term products? How do those pay? And getting into a system that's going to help you win is the most important thing. A community that's going to help you win. Yeah,
and I think obviously understanding the products, understanding that potential you have there. But one of the most freeing things and why it is a high earning potential is because you could literally make a sale, make money on any holiday, any weekend, any Sunday, any Tuesday, at any point in time with friends or family. If you're running leads, you're in your community, it literally at any time. So
you just decide.
There's no off time. Like you choose your off time. So being able to have high earning potential, you could literally sell 24/7. So when you think about that, I could start years before you, Chris, and be in insurance for a decade now, and you could literally start 2 months ago, right? And if I'm not putting in the work or the effort or really crafting my skill, you could literally be in 2 months and start earning more money than I'm earning.
Yeah.
And so there is no, I guess you would call it, what's the word I'm looking for? Not a hierarchy, but there's no seniority, I guess you would say, when it comes to insurance.
Seniority. Yeah. Yeah. What do they call it when teachers, when they get tenure? Yeah, tenure. Where sometimes there's a sense you can just start coasting, right? Mm-hmm. You're always on. You're always going out there. You're either what do some people say? You're either the tiger or the gazelle, the lion or the gazelle. But you're out there. This is your business, and you are on most of the time. I like what you said about you are someone who protects families, and you're that person regardless of where you go.
Yeah.
You're having those conversations. There are high earning potential.
Yep.
With as much work as you're willing to put into it. That's the important part, because at some point there's going to be a cap even then to the income that's coming. The thing I like about insurance, particularly life insurance, is there is a level of hierarchy where you can create an agency and empower other people to have
100%
to do the work that they're looking for, that same type of freedom, and you're empowering them to do the same thing. And then there are overrides that come with that. And that, man, I mean, the income that can come from this is astonishing.
Are you ready to launch your insurance career? Excel Solutions is your go-to leader in life, accident, and health insurance pre-license training. Their cutting-edge e-learning platform is packed with rich content. Think interactive assessments, engaging videos, and customized learning paths, all tailored to your learning style. Being students ourselves, we've trusted Excel now for years to deliver top-notch training, offering high pass rates. Their streamlined prep review courses and the exam simulator are really your secret weapons to nailing the state exam the very first time. Now, you thought it couldn't get any better. Well, it just did. Life Insurance Academy listeners, you receive an epic 50% discount, reducing the regular course fee from $199 to only $99. So, all you have to do is use partner code LIA at liapodcast.org/Excel. Now, Excel spells XCEL. So don't think about it any longer. Dive headfirst into your insurance career with Excel Solutions' premier pre-license training with that exclusive 50% discount just for you. Get the code, get licensed, and excel in your insurance career.
Let's talk about our second truth here. And it kind of goes together with the first one of high income potential, but it can kind of be an opposite when you're at the beginning of this. And you made two really good points to that. As a personal producer, there may be some sort of limiting stretch on how much you can earn just writing on your own pen.
Yeah.
Which through our time being in the industry, Chris, that number has drastically increased, in my opinion. I don't know what you think.
Yeah.
But what you could use to make on your own pen max out and what you can max out today is different. Drastically different.
Yeah.
But building that hierarchy and expanding an agency and pouring into other agents and teaching them, it really becomes limitless, because our second point is a flexible schedule, right? Yes, we may be in a job now where we're working 9 to 5, or we have maybe we're doing nights and weekends serving somewhere, or whatever the case may be. That could be a pain point. A lot of successful salespeople that some of them come from car dealerships, right?
Yeah.
And in the car dealership, one of the biggest downside is not necessarily the money or people coming in or learning some of those sales principles, but it's the schedule you have to work in order to make that money. It's limited time.
It's a lot of hours.
It's a lot of hours. Like, you have the ability here to work a few days a week. You have the ability to work 7 days a week. You have the ability to take off midday, take your kid to the doctor if they're sick. You have the ability to sell from home. You have the ability to sell face-to-face. You have the ability to work 80 hours a week, or you have the ability to work 10 hours a week. That's why this makes it a part-time opportunity. It makes it the best full-time opportunity. But when you're looking in comparison to what you just talked about, Chris, if you're a salesperson on your own and you're moving into this life insurance opportunity and you're like, well, I'm just going to kind of stick to myself. I'm going to do this for my family. I'm going to try to have some balance. If you want to make a lot of money, you got to have put a lot of time in your schedule.
Yeah.
Right. When you start to build that agency, you have to find a way to, and this is that middle ground. You have to find a way to put a lot of time into personal sales and then also scrape, bite, claw some extra time to start building an agency.
Yes.
You can't just flip that switch.
No.
And to the point to where once you have that agency growing at a certain level, then your schedule can then free up because you're losing the personal sales. You're pouring into them, developing leaders, and the bigger your agency gets, the better structure your agency has, the more flexibility and time you start to gain back. So it's like a bell curve, right? We go down, we have to pour everything we have into it. And then once we want to scale our agency, we have to go a little bit more. And as the agency gets bigger, the schedule opens up a little bit more.
Yeah. This is the one that gets activated way too early. Flexible schedule.
Oh, yeah.
Where people start to receive deposits. And, we have these conversations with agents about what do you want? How much is it going to cost to get what you want? And are you willing to do the work? That's the biggest conversation that we have with agents who are coming on. And that determines the high income potential. Like maybe your income coming in is $60,000. Okay, well, great. We can get there. We just have to figure out the work you're willing to do, which would determine your flexible schedule.
Right.
Not much flexibility. If it's somebody who's looking for $1 million income per year, then it is going to require the efforts of other people, a team.
Yeah.
Right. And so if they're doing that, the thing I want people to understand is you talked about that space in between. The team success requires you to show up and sell. It's not even a question of necessity.
Yeah.
It's absolutely necessary for you to show up.
Do you
and sell.
think, Chris, that when people are shown or presented the opportunity of life insurance, they're shown the opportunity of high personal income earning potential, the word potential, and they're shown what an agency looks like on income and earning potential to then have a growing agency? Do you think that sometimes people come into this wanting that agency, wanting that high potential, but don't have a clear idea or time frame or expectation of when that can happen, when that should happen, and they try to just turn that on immediately?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's throwing people out there without proper training or right expectations. It's holding on to people too long. And
that's a huge one.
Trying to push somebody who's not ready for this. So, I mean, there's a whole podcast there, but these are two of those things that people are attracted to: high earning potential and flexible schedules.
Well, perfect, man.
And I would say that next one, Zach, is doing something meaningful. I have so many conversations with people who are stuck in that job and they feel like they're moving a widget from here to there and it's not making a difference.
Yeah.
And they do want to make a difference in somebody's life. And they've seen, a lot of times, they've seen how life insurance has worked in their own families. And they want to be able to help other people.
Yeah. So, I mean, if you haven't picked up on that, the truth about selling life insurance is number 3 there. It is extremely impactful work. And if with it being impactful, we're making a real difference. This isn't vacuum cleaners or popcorn or Girl Scout cookies in front of Kroger, right? Yeah. This is something that makes a drastic difference. So if you have your heart in this business, you will go much, much, much farther. I'd say another one that is extremely attractive, and it is a truth of the selling life insurance, is the barrier to entry.
Yeah,
so
very low.
I know this is probably the highest earning potential, most lucrative career, makes the most millionaires of any other industry in the world. And it's probably the cheapest and easiest to get into because it takes less capital financially to get rolling, to get a license, to get the necessary things we need to take off. But it also takes the less time. And what I mean by that is because just like you, Chris, you have the opportunity to get your license. You have the opportunity to work other jobs and slow roll into this if need to be. You could serve on the weekends. You can do anything to get your feet wet to while you're going through that training and before you go full time. You have that option. I went the other route, but that low barrier of entry. But when you talk about the opportunity, and let's say, yes, I love what you're saying, Chris. I want to be that high earning potential agent. And then I also want to build that agency that you talked about. Well, that agency is going to take people, good people. So when you look at good people and we know it has a low barrier entry, it makes it a lot easier digestible and attractive to people that have families, that depend on income, that have kids they need to take care of. But also, you're giving them an avenue, an opportunity, a bridge for them to change careers where they may have felt stuck and may have felt, I have to start over on everything in life. So that is an unbelievable truth about selling life insurance.
Yeah, and if you compare it to other businesses that you're starting, it is the lowest barrier to entry. Just get your license, get contracts, start. You can sell to your friends and family, however you want to do it. There's better ways to do it, more faster through the learning curve process. But yes, the entry is very low.
Now, at this point, Chris, I believe everybody has heard these things. Everybody has been attracted to these things. You're probably listening to this podcast now because you've already been shown the plan or somebody has sparked your interest, and it's been one of these areas, if not all of these areas. Yeah. I want to talk about the hard truths, Chris. I want to talk about the truths. Yeah, give me another one. I want to talk about the truth
gritty
that not everybody lets you know.
Yeah.
This is the hidden truths. This is the truths that are just beyond the earning potential. This is the truth of what it takes to get there. That is a truth, that it is a requirement. And a lot of times, not to scare anybody away.
Maybe you should.
Maybe we should. A lot of times when agents find out these truths, it just so happens when they're falling out of the business, right? Yeah. Or the reason they are falling out of the business.
Because one of these.
Absolutely, if not a combination or whatever. But the hard truths about selling life insurance take two, right?
Yeah.
The first and foremost one of the hard truths is this is commission only.
And it is the truth we did talk about at the beginning of this.
Yes.
Oh, high income sales. And it is commission only.
And there's no salary.
Yes.
Which means, again, the first side of it, the truths, there's no ceiling. We can sell as much as we want. We can make as much money, as much effort and time we put into our training, our dedication, serving clients, and actually purely selling. We can make unlimited amount of money. But we also have zero floor, which means
that's the only way you can have unlimited.
The agents that are brand new and have the most flexible schedule have no income, right? You don't make any money. You don't have anything guaranteed. I always say that you are 100% unemployed until your next application. And that is the truth.
Yeah.
That is the cold truth, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
How do we avoid that fear? How do we overcome that hard truth of that it is commission only?
There's two levers to the agents winning in this.
I just imagine you being a big truck driver with like 18 gears and it has like 4 shifters. That's right. And you're just pulling one of them and taking off.
Listen to my 8-track. The two levers are opportunities and activity. That's it. Giving yourself enough opportunities to have a conversation with people, to get one application a day.
Yeah.
And then the activity of actually talking to those people, because I see people with one of them, but not both. I see it. I see people with both who do really well, but the ones who are struggling are the ones who don't get enough opportunities. They aren't buying leads. They can't figure out why it's working.
Yeah.
And then the other side, the people who are sitting on a mountain of leads who aren't doing any activity because nobody answers the phone.
Absolutely.
That's what I hear.
And the cool thing about this, Chris, is if you don't sell, you don't eat. And the funniest thing about that comment is I did this for years and I didn't find out that you did this until we started shooting the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
And you did it as well, to where we did not eat until we got our first app of the day.
Yeah.
We literally would not eat.
Yeah.
And that was a motivating factor for me, not only because I needed the energy and I would get hungry, but it was also, we shouldn't eat if our family's not eating.
That's how I approached
Right.
it.
And that gave us a fire and a fuel. And I think so many agents nowadays, I don't know if I can say this in the podcast, are soft, and they start their day with
When they get to it.
not as much intention.
When they get to it.
When they get to it, and it just kind of, I hope I get an app today, and they'll really start some of their activity probably around noon, and they'll go hard to about 4, and then there's their day, and the results are the results. And some of that could be forcing functions. Some of that could be responsibilities, vision. I mean, there's a number of reasons why that could be, but your family doesn't eat unless you go out there and get it. And I want my family to eat multiple times in a day.
Yeah. You never trust a skinny chef or a skinny life insurance person. I keyed. All right, commission only.
Adam's gonna blow me up, make me real big right there.
What else we got?
So the other hard truth is, and a lot of people don't tell you this, or you don't think about it, or you don't realize it until the length of time you've been in here. But Chris, there's a high turnover in life insurance.
Yes.
It's an amazing opportunity. You can have an unlimited income. You can have a most custom schedule. This is the fastest way to be a millionaire.
Yeah.
You literally are in control of you and your family's future tomorrow. Then why does most of the agents fall out?
You know, Zach, I have had people who work 80 hours a week. That's a lot. 60 to 80 who come into this and they don't go to work. And most people are used to being told what to do. They want the freedom, but they don't know how to live free.
We say it again, Chris. That's hard to hear.
Which part? Most people want the freedom, but they don't know how to live free.
No, they don't want to be told what to do.
They want to be told what to do. They're waiting to be told what to do.
But the human nature is you don't want to be told what to do.
You don't want to be told what to do. What a challenge.
Chris, stand up.
Don't you tell me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to be told what to do, but we need to be told what to do.
Yeah.
How conflicting is that?
Yeah. And then you're in charge of your own business now and you're stuck. You're sitting there stuck. I see that an awful lot. I see a lot of fear, a fear of losing, a fear of winning, a fear of being exposed. Oh man, there's a big one, I don't want people to see that I'm struggling with this or that. And so I'm just going to do this by myself. And when I figure it out, I'm going to show up on the stage. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
So I think those are some of the reasons. They have the best of intentions of coming into this. But when it's showtime and putting your money on the line and putting your money in the machine and waiting for the leads to come back and doing it every week, man, it can be a little much for folks.
Yeah, a huge piece of advice for anybody is find a way to put your cool card away.
Oh, yeah.
Put your cool card away.
You got one of those?
Dang.
Do you have one, Adam?
Adam's got one.
I never even, look at that. Thumbs up, cool card.
Put your cool card away. Put your pride in a box. Lock up your ego. Yeah. Become a learner at whatever stage you're in, whatever experience you had. You don't have to impress anybody in what you sold in a different industry at any point. The people that have the ability to do that are going to be the ones that have the longevity and the success in this business. If you try to carry around a bag of all your Little League trophies everywhere you go, it's hard to win in life insurance.
That's an image, dude.
Right?
Look at this most improved player.
It's the radio flower wagon with all your childhood trophies in it.
Oh, dude. What a sad image.
But there is a high turnover, and a lot of it is agents can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
And being able to do that.
Yeah.
Another hard truth, when we move to number 3 in the hard truths, Chris, is really building. You said all you have to do is find your opportunities. It's what it is. It's building those prospects to see. It's investing in the leads. When you have the leads, it's running the leads. It's cold calling to find the leads. It's thinking outside of the box if you don't have money or leads to go generate your own leads. It's that whole marketing opportunities. How do I identify who my client is and how do I get in front of them? That's one of the biggest
I won't say
issues.
this. If you're coming into this with no money, no capital to put into leads, or limited capital put into leads, this is going to be the hardest thing you've ever done. And if you win, you will be a completely different person than you were when you started. That is FACK fact. That is a fact. Jim Harbaugh says that. More than a fact. Yes, it's more than a fact. You will find out more about yourself. And it's kind of an adventure. I love it. I love to see people who are willing to show up and grind it out. And that's why I say I smell the smoke on them. You know, that they've gone through something and they've won because they've gone through something.
Yeah.
And you know, the people who have capital, you don't have to do that, but you better come in and act like you do. Like, you got to approach it with the same attitude and the same heart and the same desire as that person.
That's really good. That's really good. And this whole prospecting idea, so many people want to jump in insurance, but they don't want to invest in opportunities and they don't want to hustle to find the opportunities.
What are you doing?
They're exactly. And that's the hard part is, oh, wow, I didn't realize this is what it takes. And that's a whole mindset. That's a whole shift. And that's one of the biggest differences from any previous career that they're in, where they're handed a task to complete. They're handing a project they need to do. They have direction on what they have to go do. Now you're saying, okay, you have the skill set, you have the training, you have the contracts, you have the opportunity. Now you need to get in front of people. How do we do that? What does that look like?
Yeah.
This is the hard truth. We need to have people to see to sell life insurance.
Yeah, absolutely.
We do.
It's unavoidable.
The other hard truth is sometimes, depending on where you go, depending on the group that you're with, there is some sales pressure involved. That could be from an IMO that you're with, literally trying to, let's say, get you to sell a certain insurance company or product that happens to pay higher commission, but maybe isn't the best for the client. Maybe it's overpriced. Maybe it's not the absolute best coverage, which you could be conflicted on. A lot of times that is the truth.
You should be.
Right. There's also a truth to that where, and I see this so often and it's so sad that the different sales trainings or sales tactics are very high pressure. Some of them are very, let's say, sneaky, if you will, in the past.
Yeah.
And some of the principles are a little bit questionable, which you have to watch out for that as an agent. Instead of doing it the right way, which sometimes takes a little longer, it takes a little bit more practice, it takes a little bit of understanding and loving on your clients and having a real relationship. Sometimes these sales tactics and trainings that are offered are more to take shortcuts and to generate a result of a commission rather than a family being impacted and then you having a commission long term.
Yeah, there's a fine line between the two. There are some agents who are trying to make the money to get to the club. There are some agents that want to make a difference in people's lives, and you know your needle's going to tip in a certain direction, and that's why I've always appreciated Zig Ziglar. Man, I would spend hours listening to Zig Ziglar. Old timey dude, old timey. But he would say, you help enough people get what they want, you're going to get what you want.
That's unbelievable.
It's that simple of an idea. Can I help people get what they're looking for? Can I help them articulate what they're looking for?
Yeah.
That changes everything. And you get the life that you're looking for. It's a pretty fair, cool trade-off.
Hey, Chris, I want to bring some clarity to this because any new agent out there, selling life insurance can be foreign. It could be different. It can be overwhelming. And sales in general, before you get into it, you feel that it's all unethical. You feel that it's all salesy.
Yeah.
You've said this multiple times. The first opportunity you had, said you didn't want to take advantage of old people, right? So to understand that perception, my advice to you guys would be to seek clarity, right? Seek understanding. Really dive in and ask those questions before you make an assumption whether this is good or bad for the client. Talk to your trainers, talk to your upline, talk to your managers, have a good understanding, because our first and foremost sales principle that you need to be successful is belief. And we've talked about it probably on 80% of our podcasts. Right. Without having that, you won't be successful. No. In order to have that belief, you need to have a clear understanding and know how this impacts our clients in a positive way, and how it could impact them in a negative way if they don't have anything in place, and what your role is that advisor, that salesperson, to educate them the right way to, like you said, help them get what they want.
Yeah.
Right? What they need. And then ultimately the results of that will help us live the life that we want to live.
And it's a couple of things, Zach. It's understanding and an agreement with what is necessary to the process, and an agreement to the process, and then a conviction of the process. So yeah, we have to understand it. If it's crap, we have to understand it's crap. And if it's crap, it's not helping people. Yep. Then we can't align with it, and then we won't have conviction with it. You have to decide that for yourself.
100%. When we move on, number 5 of the hard truths is leads can be expensive. Yeah, and sometimes you have to pay to training, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. If like you said earlier, if you don't have money to invest, you better invest time. That's your cheapest lead, right?
Yeah.
Is being able to do that. If you want to trade, because you have a limited time, or you don't want to spend as much time, you're trading that time for a higher qualified lead, which is a warmer opportunity. The lead becomes more expensive because you have to spend less time qualifying the product, the person. You have to spend less time searching for who that perfect client possibly could be to talk to. That's all done for you. That's where the lead cost comes into play. So understanding that you're going to have to invest in leads, you're going to have to invest in training, right? Good thing is, we have an unbelievable coaching program here, and we have, what is it, Adam? 200 and
pretty good.
80. Pretty what podcasts
good.
Are we up to? 273 podcasts that all are free.
What? They're free? What are we doing?
We didn't tell Chris. They're all free that you guys can listen to. You can gain training, gain knowledge, and there has been hundreds of agents that have reached out to us with success stories, all just listening to the podcast.
That's crazy.
And the cool thing is some of the events and conventions we see people on, they come right up to us like they've known us for years, which we encourage and we love, by the way. And they say, man, I've been listening to you for, a year and a half. And they happen to be one of the top people in their sales organization, which is so cool to see. And majority of their training they lean on is our free podcast.
Yeah,
which is really, really, really cool when you look at that.
The expensive leads, I think it's unavoidable. It's part of the deal. And expense is an interesting word because it's an investment. Expensive investment. That's you don't hear that very often, but this is an investment that you are putting into your business, and for the business to run, it has to happen on a regular basis.
Absolutely,
it's unavoidable.
I want to give you guys a couple tips as we finish up here. This is the truth about selling life insurance. With what everybody does know, what they get attracted to. This is also the hard truth of what you don't initially get told, but we want you guys to know and be a part of, because
we should have led with this. This is
the reality. But a couple other things to watch out for, because when you're looking at the insurance opportunity, if it is a MLM style, or you're literally pressure to recruit from day one, and there's no focus on selling, training, ethical, serving clients, maybe dig in, ask more questions. It'd be really just be cautious of that opportunity.
Here, I will say, man, on these, just know what you're getting into.
Exactly.
Like, maybe that is for you.
It might be.
That could be the model you're looking for.
It might be.
Don't get confused. Don't get it twisted, yo. That's what the kids say. If you're thinking you're going to go in and you're going to make a lot of money selling, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not. You're not going to make a lot of money.
Yeah.
You're gonna meet a lot of really cool.
A lot of cousins.
Yeah, you're gonna meet a lot of cool people.
Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to free lead programs, make sure you know the entirety of your free lead program, because there's no such thing as a free lead ever.
Right.
Ever. There's only an earned lead, and you only get leads if you earn them. So what does it take to earn them? How long can you earn them? There's a lot of questions you can dive into. What are you giving up? Because I promise you, you're giving up more than you're receiving.
What is the income potential?
Right.
That is a huge question for those.
That is something that you need to look at. And then if the only reason you're looking to insurance is to have quick wealth, and there's no conversation of how or when, the time frame, goal setting, any of that, hey, join insurance. You can go from making $32,000 a year in your current job to making $500,000 immediately. Just join me. They don't hand out checks; you earn them. So there's a lot of important steps that you need to do. Maybe you need to share this podcast with somebody. But we believe in giving you guys the truth, the real truth, nothing but the truth, real value, real sales techniques, real sales principles. We want to better you guys. We want to better the industry. We want to set a precedence here. We want to do the right thing. And most importantly, we want our clients to be able to be served. We want you guys to have the unbelievable opportunity that you have in the life insurance sales. And we want to let you guys, more than anything, know that we're available. We're available at any time, whatever you guys need, with questions, with comments, with coaching, with tips, with just hanging out, relationships.
Sleep over at Zach's house.
Sleep over, whatever we need to do. We want you guys to win. That's what propels us forward. One thing, Chris, what should they do if they got any value from this podcast?
They need to post in the comments below.
Yeah.
They need to call their grandmother and tell them I love you and you should watch the Life Insurance Academy podcast.
And they should probably subscribe get their granny to subscribe.
Do it.
Right?
Just do it.
Just zoom in.
Just do it.
Just do it on Chris.
That's right. Guys, thank you so much. We hope you found value in this podcast. We can't wait to see you on the next Life Insurance Academy podcast. See you then.